Hi there, this is Live Prepper here, and this article is about water can and will kill you once the shtf. Now, I did a video a while back talking about what can happen in situations, but this in here shows the numbers, and this one here come from uh, a category called it's water purification. But let me show you. I'll show you the picture here, right here. You can see this here, and then you can see right here, and you can look it up and do more research. But I wanted to break down some numbers for you. It's talked about here first. Let us start with a few facts. It says roughly 783 million people do not have access to safe water on a daily basis, which is more than 2.5 times the population of the United States. Possibly around about amount 3.5 million people die each year because of limited water supplies and from contaminated water. There are numerous deadly disease present in untreated water. Deadly diseases. Bottom line. It says that 80% of the sewage discharged in developing countries is discharged without being treated directly into water bodies. The same bodies of water that people draw their daily water supply from. Now, isn't that something? A lot of these countries just flat out, they send out raw sewage right into the rivers and stuff. They don't even bother to treat it. So these people are drinking contaminated water. Bottom line. It says, imagine if water treatment plants went offline today and your faucets only delivered air. You ever done that where you try to turn it on, there's no water because the lines are busted, and you're just getting agitated because you've got dishes to wash, you're in the middle of a shower, or you got clothes to wash. There ain't no water. Dang. So because human waste will not stop flowing, human waste will make its way into the local surface water sources that can no longer be treated on a large scale. So I talked to you about that before in the shtf situation, that even if the water treatment plants are still running for a time being, and if there's nobody there to put the chemicals in it to treat it, you're going to end up having raw sewage. Now it says it's talking about diseases such as cholera, dysentery, and typhoid will be presented in many surface water in a matter of weeks after the infrastructure collapses. Bottom line. So remember I told you that cedar or pine tea is high in concentrated C. So in the event of this here, I would advise you to go and harvest that and make you some tea, boil your water, and then filter the water, and then make a tea of this here to help with that. There. Now the typhoid, remember Joe Pye plant? That's what that was known for, curing typhoid. Okay, so it says the figures listed above would increase dramatically if the United States and other developed countries lost their ability to supply the population with clean drinking water for a steady period. People would be forced to consume contaminated water, and they would die from it. Have you ever seen those old Western movies and they're coming up and say, "Don't drink that water. Can't you tell right there a person died, that dead cow or whatever?" Excuse me, and they drink it anyway, they get sick and they die. It says water filter devices. The one on the market today have remarkable capabilities. However, filters are not perfect, so they are just one of several methods that should be incorporated. In some cases, you can replace the filter in the device when it has exceeded the number of gallons for which it is rated. Some filtering devices have a stated number of gallons they will filter, and when you reach that number, you simply throw the device away. Something you need to check on also is the shelf life of these devices. Some of them don't last no more than 5 years. You need to check the shelf life and see if they're still good or not. They may still work even after the shelf life, but you need to think on that in that situation. It's important to have a stop-by filter for all devices that allows a change out. And track the number of gallons filtered when using all devices. Most are rated beyond what is stated by the manufacturer, so there is a margin of error. But in a life or death situation, you cannot guess. You have to know it is still working. So if it says 50 gallons, you better keep up and then change it out after 50 gallons. You might want to change it out a little bit before. Household bleach. The water must be filtered first before purification. Filter and use coffee filters. Using coffee filters, cheesecloth, charcoal, sand, cloth, or gravel You would layer multiple filter methods, mediums, and advise for best results. Bleach has been used for decades to purify your tap water, and common household bleach it contains it is an active ingredient for ideal water purification. The bleach should contain 5.25 to 6% of active ingredients and not have any additives. The ratio is 8 drops per gallon, and a wait time of 30 minutes is required before drinking. You can add up to 16 drops per gallon if the water is cloudy. So that's something you need to be accurate on. It's 8 drops per gallon, and if it's really cloudy, it's 16 drops per gallon. And the smell of bleach should be slight when you open the container after mixing and let it sit for 30 minutes, and then you can still run it through a filter system after that, also to kind of get rid of some of that bleach smell in there. Ooh. Iodine is 2% liquid tincture of iodine can be used, but there are health risks to certain individuals. Anyone with known or suspected thyroid problem should check with their health professional, as well as anyone pregnant, nursing, or with other health conditions before consuming iodine treated water. I want to tell you, in a situation, you don't care. You get to that point, you're going to drink it no matter what. So, I'm telling you to do something. Filter it! Even after you put the iodine and the bleach in it, run it through a filter system again. Run it through the coffee pot. If you still have power, run it through some sand. Make you a filter system up of grass or whatever you got to do. You do your layers with some rocks in the bottom, and then some charcoal, and then some sand, and filter that sucker. And if you want to, you can do this too. You can get fresh pine. And another gentleman sent this to me. This is how I know, because I've seen it. I looked at it. Cut you a piece of fresh pine off the inner bark part, and lay it here over thing, and with a tube, and you can run that through that, and also filter it. Filter it, and even after you do iodine and bleach is important. Regardless of your health, you should only consume iodine water, treated water, for a maximum of 14 days at a time. The ratio is 5 drops per liter quart of water. If the water is clear and it's not cold, below 50 Fahrenheit, you can add up to 10 drops per liter if the water is cloudy, even after filtered, or if it's below 50 degrees. Filter, 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 filter. Bottom line, you got cotton swabs, filter it through cotton. If you got cheesecloth, filter it through cheesecloth. You got coffee filters, filter it through coffee filters. If you have to, you can filter it through old newspapers if push comes to shove. Fire has been used for thousands of years, and there's no reason why you shouldn't use it. Again, there it goes again. You can filter it out with your bleach and your iodine, but then again, you can heat it up again. And purification tablets. You can purchase iodine or fluoride-based purification tablets, and the directions may vary by manufacturer and by active ingredients. The tablets will have an expiration date, so make sure they are up to date before use. Filter any water source before adding any purification tablets. And then that's something you need to think of. If you want to buy them, use them. Rotate the stock out. Don't go buy a case of them and they're sitting there and then they expire and you got all this money screwed up. You need to use them and rotate it out. You can sit there and dissolve them and put them in your toilet system or whatever you want to. You can put them in the back of your toilet commode and throw them in there and let them dissolve and use them and rotate them out. Don't just go buy a case and then let them go bad. Rotate them out. When they start to get to their expiration date, rotate them out. And you may think you are dying of starvation after 3 days, but you are not likely to be dying from lack of food. However, you are not being properly hydrated, or if you drink contaminated water, you can die within 3 days. You cannot filter out poisons or chemical toxins. Boiling and chemical treatments will not remove chemical toxins or poisons from a water source. Everything, it seems, is a priority when it comes to survival, but not having a clean water source once the shtf means you will not live long. This is simply the fact you need a foolproof plan in place to make sure you have a reliable way to purify a contaminated water source before something happens. Bottom line is the old school filtering system. Using your rocks, using your grass, using sand. I have a bag of rocks, I have a bag of sand, I have a bag of charcoal that I bought for the purpose of grills, which I can make my own if I need to. But I do keep that on hand to do a filter system. The point is you can run that through there and keep refiltering it and refiltering it. And even he's talking about the poisons and toxins. Once you filter it, then you boil it to get rid of. Now, I've seen them on some of these survival shows. They've ranked some of the nastiest tasting swamp water and everything else. The point is, you got to do what you got to do to survive. Again, if you're going to be drinking water and you're filtering it out, it's best to have things on hand. Like go out and get your cedar, go out and get your pine, make your teas with it. It might not taste too good, but I want to tell you what, it's better than being really sick harvesting Joe Pye plant, harvesting boneset plant. There is other plants that you can raise that will help filter waste out. So it's something to think about. I just want to kind of throw the numbers at you. So bottom line is calling filter, filter, and filter. And catching rainwater, finding underground caverns, if possible, with water in there. Finding water that runs through limestone is the best filtering process you could come across. Locating streams and stuff that's nowhere near the town that you know about, that's away from the sewage systems, away from the rivers and lakes. You don't want to do any of that. You want it totally away from all of that. So be careful in a situation and think about it. I want you to be safe, be happy. Bless you all.